noticed that the most peaceful people are often the most reserved? There's a quiet strength in knowing what to share and what to keep to yourself. In a world that constantly urges us to open up, true wisdom lies in restraint. The Stoics understood this well. What we reveal can empower us, but it can also make us vulnerable. As we grow older, especially between the ages of 50 and 75, life teaches us a profound lesson. Not everything needs to be said. Privacy isn't just about secrecy. It's about control, dignity, and maintaining inner peace. In a time when personal details are more public than ever, mastering the art of discretion becomes an essential virtue. Today, we'll explore 8 things you should never share with anyone. Timeless Stoic insights that will help you protect your peace, safeguard your reputation, and navigate life with quiet confidence. These principles aren't about isolation, but about strength, self-respect, and knowing when silence speaks louder than words. So, before you reveal your next personal thought, ask yourself, does this serve my well-being, or am I giving away a piece of my power? Stick with me as we uncover the wisdom behind keeping certain things private, and why doing so can lead to a more fulfilled and resilient life. If you find these insights valuable, stay until the end and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's begin. 1. Age, more than just a number. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Marcus Aurelius. Age is one of the first things people ask about, a common icebreaker in casual conversations. But behind that seemingly harmless question lies a deeper reality. Society places immense value on youth, often reducing people to mere numbers. In our later years, age ceases to be just a number. It becomes a label, one that others use to define our capabilities, our relevance, and even our future. Why then should we keep our age private? Because knowledge of it can lead to unnecessary assumptions. Once people know how many years you have lived, they may unconsciously start treating you differently. They may offer unsolicited advice, assume you are less capable, or worse, begin to view you through the lens of decline rather than experience. Ageism, though subtle and often unintentional, is very real.
I am not really agreeing with this part too much. I'm really not. I get where he's going about age. I get where he's going about but I don't know if we should not share our age. You know what I'm saying?
And even in societies that claim to value wisdom, the illusion of youth tends to overshadow the worth of experience. But life is not about numbers. We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end of them. Seneca, longevity is uncertain, and measuring our lives in years rather than experiences is a mistake. The fixation on age can create anxiety, not only for yourself, but for others. Some may look at your number and assume you have little time left. Others may impose their own fears onto you. But what matters is not how much time remains. It is how you choose to live each moment. By keeping your age private, you free yourself from societal expectations. You define your own existence, unshackled by assumptions about what you should be doing at a certain stage in life. Your energy, your passions, your contributions, these are what truly define you. When you do not disclose your age, you allow others to see you for your wisdom, your strength, and your presence, rather than a number on a timeline. The Stoics remind us that death is inevitable, but the way we live is entirely within our control. The number of years behind you is far less important than the life within you. Instead of dwelling on how much time has passed, focus on what remains to be done. Keep your age private, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom, because life is measured not in years, but in moments well lived.
Hear the stoic. I hear the stoic, but I don't know if I agree. Let's go.
2. Money, financial privacy is key. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. Money is an unavoidable part of life, yet it remains one of the most sensitive subjects. By the time you reach your 50s and
I don't think I got time like that to just let this play through. I gotta skip. I gotta drop the link for you guys to watch it yourself also. All right, so let's get into this money part, right? Anybody who, let's go back to age, okay? First of all, let's start with age. Age is an interesting one because I'm looking at, from a dark psychological perspective, how people use these things to get through to people, right? And a lot of times I find that because of someone's age, and especially if there's of an older age, right, meaning 50 plus upward, right, or they have this elderly look, even if they're like in their mid 40s and they have like an elderly look, I notice that people tend to make these people or have this kind of bond with these people, calling them auntie and grandma, and as if these words are things they talk about, I guess have some kind of value in or meaning. But when you get into these people, what begins to happen is you realize like age is really nothing but a number for these people. And he does have a point now that I think about it, because when I see somebody online and I look at them and I be like, you look like 21, 22. I really don't want to hear what you have to say. And you know what? It's hitting me now. God damn it, it's hitting me now. He is absolutely right about this. You will be judged by your age. Now, money. Anybody who is so quick to talk about money, anybody who's quick to talk about how I got money or how I got this money and how I did this, anybody who, and because this goes back to what I told you about the online female, the online male, right? When I said that about how they handle life and how they handle the things that they had, that they end up going out here and getting unalived, right? So anybody who has to show you how much money they have and what they have and what they've created and what they built, anybody who has the need to flex that in front of you, something is very wrong with that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and just skip. Again, y'all can go ahead and look into your own thing. You know what I mean? Here's a big one.
Chase the Northern Lights with a rail pass.
I can't wait.
Travel by train to the Arctic Circle.
Family secrets, the sanctuary of home. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself.
Chase the Northern Lights with a rail pass.
I gotta
Travel by train to the Arctic Circle. Explore as many years.
Marcus Aurelius. Family is both our greatest source of strength and, at times, our greatest challenge. The bonds we share with parents, children, siblings, and extended relatives are built over a lifetime, woven together with love, sacrifice, and inevitably moments of tension. Every family has its struggles, its misunderstandings, its untold stories. But the wise understand that not all family matters are meant to be shared.
Yes. yes, let's get into this. I have come to see that the family member, because let's get into the family, a family member who has so much negativity to say about family, the family member who is very quick to turn on family, meaning they're very quick to blast out their own family's business. They're very quick to showcase their family drama and their problems, is a very untrustworthy person. Not only are they dangerous, but they're very untrustworthy. Okay? Anybody who sits around here and causes these family issues, something is definitely narcissistically wrong. I heard someone yesterday. I doubt if I'll find them. But they broke down how their father unalived their mother and how their father unalived their grandmother and how their mother died on 666 and how their mother was a sacrifice. And I'm like, well, goddamn, you got an interesting ass family life. Needless to say, this person got mad at me like I'm the one that caused the death of their mother and the death of their grandmother and caused them to be molested in this church by the boatload. But this is their stories. And I'm sitting here listening to this foolishness, right? Because I don't believe anything that comes out of anybody's mouth online. And I'm just like, why are you telling everybody this? This is something you need to be telling your therapist. Okay? They probably blocked me. No, I think it's this one. And it's funny because they had the name Hitler in their name. That's what made me go to this person. Mm-hmm. But this is what they were talking about. And I was sitting around and I was just like, well, why are we aggravated to this information? People like that are abusive people. That's the point that I'm trying to make. People like that are the online people that I talk about with the rage and the anger. You know what I'm saying? And they are the ones causing problems in their family and nobody in their family likes them. And yeah, stuff like that. I think they blocked me. That's why I try to listen to test subjects and just listen and not interact. All right. And also their names was in all caps. So when you whenever someone has their names in all caps, that's a very obnoxious, attention-seeking person. Yeah, they blocked me. Because I don't even see them in my history anymore. And this is the story that they tell. Okay? That's not normal, everybody. Family secrets should be family secrets. Anything about your family is a secret. It is okay for me to say my family members were, you know, their parents on drugs and I don't say it to be seething and nasty. I say it with compassion and love because I'm proud that my cousins are at the place in their life having to go through that. And I'm glad my grandparents was a part of raising them more in their life, to be their parents in their life, to give them some kind of chance in life. I'm proud of that. I'm proud, that a lot of my cousins still are damn alive. The ones that I grew up with. Okay? Here we go. Let's go. So, yesterday. Yeah, this person blocked me. I'll have to go on my other page to find them. I haven't been blocked in a very long time, guys. That's actually an accomplishment. But when you got people, I said some harsh words to them. I called her a dumb N-word with a hard R. Okay, I did. Because she was a dumb N-word with a hard R. And I tried to be casual. And it just got nasty. But what happens is, when you talk about your family like that, what happens is, when you walk around here lying on people, you're going to get offended. Remember I told you about the online female and how raging and angry she is, how nasty she is, how hateful and jealous she is, how she has that internal turmoil? Yeah. She was telling her family secrets. And I didn't believe none of it, because that's the thing where you have to be careful. Why are you oversharing? Remember, oversharing was one of the 40 manipulation tactics. Why are you oversharing? These are conversations that you have privately with a therapist, not people online. Okay? Oh, the one thing I could do. Let me go to the next one. Let's listen to this. Let me just go to the next one. Yeah, I'm gonna go listen to this. Next one.
4. Medications. Health is personal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Health is one of life's greatest equalizers. No matter how strong, successful, or wise we become, we are all subject to the natural wear and tear of time. By the time we reach our 50s and beyond, managing health becomes a priority.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a lifesaver with my application and helping me write my personal statement and CV. Grammarly is your digital writing assistant.
And see, that's another thing this person does. This person makes videos and make them private. Make videos and make them private. That's a sense of importance, exaggerated importance in their life. And also, if you can't say it and you gotta hide it, then you're lying, right? Damn, I'm serious. I really feel like the person just blocked me, because I used to just look them up and I can't. They blocked me.
Some may deal with chronic conditions, others may rely on medications, and many undergo treatments to maintain their well-being. While health is a common topic of discussion, the details of your personal medical history are best kept private. Why? Because revealing too much about your medications or treatments can change how people perceive you.
Don't think that, I just want to add this. I understand, we do understand dark psychology and stuff like that. But when I listened to this all the way yesterday, well, most of them, please try not to go into a space of thinking that what this list is doing is trying to make you care about what other people think. That's not the case. This is also a case study of how you appear, how people look at you, how you carry yourself, how you speak. All of these things do matter, how people do look at you, judge, and give you scrutiny. I feel like this person was more so looking at people online, because I made a comment here, and they were just like, okay, here's how I'm going to make this list. I have ADHD, I have ADD, I have autism, I'm severely mentally ill, herpes, gonorrhea. Let me tell you the story of how I got HIV. All of this stuff is manipulation. Okay? It's manipulation. And see, this is what people like, well, people are just so open about this and that. People are manipulators. And this is a world where the master manipulators play in, they thrive in this world because they realize the response they get. What is you being autistic have to do with me? What does your child, because see, this is family secrets too. What does your child being autistic have to do with us? And why do we have to see you have all these problems with this autistic child? Why are we watching this online, man? Please go get a professional to help you with this, not us. Why do we really need to know all the medications that you are on? What are you about to do and make the medication the excuse for your retarded ass behavior? There was once an online female I knew, and she would be like, I'm off my meds, I'm off my meds. And then she would just do retarded, idiotic fucking shit from her childhood. And that was always her excuse for her behavior. Let's get to the next one. Now, I thought,
how much
you know what?
Could you save by switching your car insurance to Allstate? Well, let's say this is.
When I heard this one, it made me think about something. It made me start considering myself as far as, like I told you, my, relationship topics and stuff like that. But listen to what he has to say here.
5. Sexuality, intimacy is sacred. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Sexuality is one of the most profound aspects of human existence. It is not merely about physical connection, but about trust, vulnerability, and emotional depth. Contrary to societal misconceptions, intimacy does not fade with age. It evolves. For many, love and connection become even richer as the years pass, shaped by experience, mutual understanding, and a deeper appreciation for companionship.
That's true.
Yet, in a world that often sensationalizes or stigmatizes the intimate lives of older adults, discretion is not just wise, it is necessary. The Stoics remind us that what is sacred should be guarded.
Yes. 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 This is why relationships fall apart online. This is why people should not put their online marriages, relationships, their family online. This is why you got to watch these relationship gurus. See, that's the difference. See, there's a difference if you have a PhD, a doctor teaching you about relationships, right? A therapist teaching you about relationships, or just having these. See, when you become wiser, okay, you realize I only want to talk to a scholar when it comes to this information. I only want to talk to a therapist when it comes to this topic. I only want to talk to someone who specializes in said fill in the blank topic. If you do not specialize in this fill in the blank topic, then I will not qualify any information that you speak. But if you come at it and it's like, hey, I'm just sharing my experiences and this is what I've learned. Key 2 words. This is what I've learned. This is what 3 words I've come to see. 4 words. I've come to see. Okay? This is what I will share with you about from my experiences. There's nothing wrong with that because now it gets personal. It gets more internal. Like, okay, I'm going to listen now to what you've experienced. Not what you're trying to tell me is what it is. I want to listen to this one a little just bit more, right? Let's go.
Intimacy is a deeply personal matter, not a subject for public discussion. When details of one's private life are shared too freely, they become subject to misinterpretation, judgment, and even ridicule. People impose their own beliefs, biases, and assumptions, reducing something meaningful to mere gossip or speculation. Keeping your intimate life private is not about shame. It is about respect. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Seneca. Speaking too openly about one's romantic life can erode the very bond that makes it special. Intimacy flourishes in privacy. It is nurtured by the quiet trust between two people, not by the opinions of the outside world. When you reveal too much, you risk allowing others to intrude upon something that should remain between you and your partner alone. Furthermore, as we age, our desires and needs may change, but the importance of dignity and discretion remains constant. Sharing too much can invite unnecessary scrutiny, making something personal into a subject for debate. By keeping your private life just that, private, you maintain control over your own story. The Stoics teach us that wisdom lies in restraint, that strength is found in silence, and that true fulfillment does not require validation from others. Let your intimate life be a source of joy, not a spectacle. Protect what is sacred, and in doing so, preserve its meaning. 6. Charity, the quiet power of giving. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is not
Viviscal hair growth supplements nourish thinning hair for results you can see, touch, feel.
not to be
Let's go back. Let's go back. All right. That one was pretty quick, right? All right. Listen. My thing is, okay, about that topic, because I like how he used the word, well, they used the word sexuality, right? Because you may not think how something as simple as just talking about a relationship, expressing your happiness, and all of these things, you may not realize how much bad juju it can bring upon you with other people. Because I really feel like this person is talking more so about online. I really just feel like they are. I don't feel like they're I just don't feel it. It's just my intuition. Also, this person is pointing out something that I also see. I started thinking about, when I listened to this, I was like, how I know in my past I've done, I should have just never talked about many things. A lot of times I did not talk about my relationship. I don't think I started talking about anything until the relationship ended. Now that I think about it, I just started talking about that relationship till a relationship ended. My sexuality or any sexual endeavors that I've had, I don't talk about it, right? So, but I have gone into like private chats and act very immature and silly and shit like that. And it was the environment that I was in. I'm gonna blame it on that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So understand that when you value something, you don't want to share it with anybody. It's like when you're in a relationship with somebody and they really value you, they're not going to want to share you with other people. You get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the slimy people who you're not in relationships with or people who playing games. You're not talking about them. I'm talking about actual relationships. They're not going to want to share you with everybody. We're not going to want everybody to come around you and tarnish what y'all have together. And you will be the same. And so therefore online is the same space where you don't want to talk about what's going on in your relationship. You don't want to get that private. What purpose does it serve to talk about it? Like, you have to ask yourself that. And this is how you know a lot of these people who are in relationships, they don't really respect or value their relationship. I remember an online female story who expressed to me, and I'm not innocent either, but they expressed to me the medical situation of their husband. And I remember I told another friend of mine, online male of mine, and not of mine, but and they were like, well, if he was really her best friend, you wouldn't know about that. And I thought about that. And this online female was so quick to blast everything out about everyone, even their own mother. And you have to be mindful of people like that. See, a lot of times people work backwards, right? They don't really want to deal with somebody who's very secretive. They don't want to deal with somebody who doesn't tell them anything about themselves. There's nothing really wrong with that, depending on the level of the conversation. If the conversation is sincerely a casual one and they're acting out that way, then red flag. But if it's a personal one or they don't get personal, that's actually a good thing. They value privacy. They value their own privacy. And believe it or not, as you get to know them, you will learn that they will value your privacy. Because that's one thing about me. If someone shares something with me, it doesn't leave me. Okay? I don't even have to know you. I had one time at work shared with another coworker that I'm cool with about a situation that another coworker was going through. And I felt bad for saying it out loud because I just was like, it wasn't my space to even tell that. Do you get what I'm saying? But, I'm just trying to get you to understand how people who do not blurb and run their mouths like that, how we just, for myself, I can speak for myself, how I just don't like to do that. Now, me blurbing my mouth about the mammy yesterday, the online female who was ramming on about her dad killing her mom and her grandmother and put the grandma in a hole, and then going and rambling on about how he was a pastor and stuff. I don't believe nothing that came out her mouth. I don't believe a damn thing that came out her mouth. Okay? So I'm going to repeat what she said because that was just absolutely retarded. And I didn't even get into the retarded ass trans story that she told. It was pure manipulation. All of it. Because what I'm trying to get you, what you're going to see is people who do not have these boundaries are manipulators. They're manipulating something. And what comes with a manipulator? They are abusive people. Okay? Abusive. And the conversation was sexuality. And I purposely had a casual conversation with her because you know I do my case studies out here. And you know how I talk. I said, I'm a dyke and I don't care. And then she went off. She went off and started spewing what was really her, what we call homophobia or her hate, for just because, you know, she wanted to spew her hate because that's what it was really about. And I triggered that by saying what I said with pride. And then she starts saying all these slick things and all this time and shit. Well, that's your problem and this, that, and the third. Because what I told you about the online female early this morning, she is internally there's a big turmoil internally inside of her. She despises anybody who's happy. She despises anybody who's free. That's what, we just go back to that show about things you shouldn't tell. I'm trying to change the title. Well, because your relationship and your sexuality should be a private matter, right? It should be guarded. It should be sacred to you. The relationships that you have in your life should be private. There's no reason for these strangers online to know about it.
Lived by reference to others, but by following the inner light.
All right, charity. We don't got to get into that. Charity. Oh, I went to the church and I did this. And oh, let's get back to sexuality real quick, right? If somebody is in the sex industry or anything like that, because I'm going to get into that, but I have a concern. And I mean, I have a major concern. When I sit back and I look at different adult sites, not different ones, but the main ones that I see, I began to look and I was like, these people are just openly showing their faces. These people are just openly putting their sexuality out there, right? And their sexual fetishes and stuff is just out there. And I'm like, are these people living normal lives day to day? And it goes back to what I was saying about the online person, the online male and the online female, and their very sexual appetite and fetishes and secrets that they have, right? It brought me back to realizing that these are the type of things that these people do, and they don't have a sense of self-reflection or thinking about the consequences of what's to come for the actions they're taking now. Anybody that's in the sex industry is stuck in the sex industry. And they don't understand what it really is to be in the sex industry. Because we have so much online males who have their titillating appetite, their womanizing and all this stuff, and that's where they go to do it all. So much that they shut down OnlyFans, which to me was the most retarded shit I have ever seen. But that was the online male behavior stuff, right? And this is what I'm trying to tell you and what I was saying to you in the morning time about that. Now let's get to charity. I have done volunteer work. I am very big to do a volunteer work. I have family members who do volunteer work, and none of it is on camera. No volunteer work I've ever done is on camera, but it's damn sure on my fucking resume. I have volunteered. There's so much things out there, you know. And I have even wanted to do things myself from the volunteer work that I've done. I've also wanted to do more things and all that stuff. But, I'm just not a big social butterfly, and I'm just not really into people. And yeah, that's just how I am. Unless, I like to do my own thing, really. Yeah, I like to do my own thing. Well, anyway, I have a problem with people who they show you what they're doing for people in the streets. I raise an eyebrow at people who do all this, because if you want to do all this charity work, that means you like to be around people who you see as charity cases, i.e. the chick yesterday. She talked about how her daddy, the pastor, how he loved to help women with multiple children, multiple baby fathers, and homeless and fucked up situation versus women who had their shit together. That's a charity case. Because the thing about this particular person, because you're a weirdo, and I know you're the type to block me and keep following me. Okay? So listen to what I'm saying to you. They see people of the LGBTQ plus as a charity case, because they're coming from a religious ideology, okay? They see people who live life in a different way as a charity case. I need you to understand how goddamn asinine these people think. To me, that's asinine, but that's how they think. And this is why they come around you, the online people, because they see a charity case. And you have to make sure that you tell them you are not a charity case, or you show them that you are not a charity case. Okay? You got to understand why they associate with that. Can I tell you the truth? I want to hear something vibrationally true. You will not go to no homeless shelter. You will not put yourself in the space of that, not even to help people. You will not allow people to knock on your door and give you things for free from their church. You will not go to a free food bank. You know why? Because that's all vibrational. And you will say, and you will know that you do not live like that. If you want to feed yourself, you will find a way to feed yourself. And if you want to really feed yourself for free, you will go to your mama, your daddy, or your grandma's house. Doesn't that make sense? You don't want to be around the frequency of lack. That's a frequency of lack. And these people dive in the frequency and mesh in the frequency of lack. And they want to pull you down in there. So if you see people doing a lot of charity stuff, you ever notice that a certain group of males are always doing charity stuff? Have anybody ever noticed that? Do I have to tell y'all this certain group of male? A lot of the rappers are always doing charity stuff. You know why you don't see Taylor Swift doing charity work? Because if she does it, you won't know about it. If she's donating to a certain program, you won't know about it. And Taylor Swift, I can't speak for her, but I'm going to say that I'm sure about that. But Taylor Swift is a bourgeoisie bitch. She ain't going to put herself around the frequency of those people. You got to start asking yourself, why is this person so quick to want to do charity for these certain type of people? Have they themselves been homeless? Was this their mother? Were they an orphan kid? See, you have to start looking at that. All right? I'm going to go to the next one.
Marcus Aurelius. True generosity needs no audience. Giving, whether in the form of money, time, or support, is one of the highest expressions of virtue. Yet, in a world where public recognition is often mistaken for genuine virtue, the quiet act of charity has become a rarity.
I want to also tell you this. This is another way of charity too. You know, people who go online and help people publicly with their problems. You know, people who be like trying to talk to people on a very, very private level on their show. That's charity, y'all. When you want to have a true private conversation to help somebody, of course your time will be paid for, but you will go into a private space to do that for people. Okay? Another thing. Besides that, even giving readings publicly, charity cases. You see what I'm saying? And you know, I'm being for real, because there's some conversations with people that should not be that private and that public, even if they're hiding their face. Then it just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be talked about. It should be behind somewhere private and safe. Another thing. It goes back to scholarship for me. If this person that I'm communicating with does not specialize in human behavior, meaning they don't study psychology, biology, human anatomy, any type of anything that deals with the mind or the brain science, if they don't have a title, then there is no reason for me to talk to them about said certain topics. When you stand on something like that, you will see the difference. Then somebody, because these people are in a space where they can abuse people. These people don't have full emotional intelligence. This is for them to look a certain way to everybody that they don't look in their real life.
The Stoics remind us that goodness is its own reward. The moment we seek praise for our generosity, we dilute its purity. Why should charity be kept private? 7. Honor, protecting your reputation. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. Honor is not something you demand. It is something you earn. It is not built on words, but on actions, cultivated over a lifetime of discipline, integrity, and quiet strength. By the time we reach our 50s and 60s, we have likely accomplished much, raising a family, building a career, contributing to our community. But the Stoics teach us a crucial lesson. True honor requires no announcement. In a world obsessed with recognition, it is tempting to share our achievements, to remind others of what we have done. But the more we seek validation, the more we risk weakening the very respect we hope to preserve. Honor is like a flame. It shines brightest when it is steady and unshaken, but too much air can cause it to flicker and fade.
Listen, your reputation, trust me. I remember, this goes back to the first one, age. It was my little cousin. And she was talking to me about reputation. She was a teenager. She had to be about 15, 16 years old. She was like, you gotta care. You gotta look at your reputation. You gotta look at the people you associate with. What is their reputation? And then years down the line in my adult life, I had the same conversation with my daughter. You need to pay attention to people's reputation. And begin to tell her, if you associate with these type of people, this is what you're going to be associated with. And that right there was the problem. Okay, that right there, my problem was my association online. My association. Even in my real life. I thought I was just volunteering and associating with decent people, but I wasn't paying attention to, I wasn't acting upon what I was seeing when there was no, when people were disappearing and not coming around. Because the thing about whenever you participate in something and somebody's running something, if it's people disappearing and you don't see them no more and stuff, something has happened. You want to see consistency. You want to see them have a foundation. You want to see that they have a group of people that is trusted. You want to see all of these things. Now, I'm not saying that can't be tricky, but at least that's the beginning of seeing things with this person. Reputation. What is your YouTube reputation? What is your reputation every time you open your mouth online? And if you don't want to have a horrible reputation, then our representation of yourself, erase it and make it be gone for good and hope that no one ever recorded it again. Reputation. You see what I'm saying? That can stretch all into many things. Look at somebody. It all ties in. Money, their age, their money, listen, the age that they display very often, their money. You know, I'm grown people, I'm grown. That's number one. The money, everything that they got. You got to see how much they put into their podcast, how much they put into the background, how they look, how good they look, how much they spent on that watch and all that stuff, their money. They have to wear their money. They have to show you their money. You have to watch that. You have to watch the family secrets, right? What kind of family secrets do they continue to tell and put out there and blast out that they need to be talking to their therapist about? And this is a place that their bank and them needs to be knowing about their money. What medications that they will slip and tell you about. Their sexuality and their sexual endeavors. Because believe it or not, when someone is telling you about the people they've dealt with and this, that, and the third, you don't necessarily have to have had sex with these people, but they're going, you know, they're going to talk about these things and all the time. I've heard people who actually talked about what they were doing when they were younger sexually, what they did sexually with their partner, sexually what they like. Yeah, but I've done these things to be silly, not serious, to be silly and young-minded and immature. Their charity and what they have done and what they do for their community and on the video and all this kind of stuff, which all is their reputation. You see how it all ties up for number 7? That's all their reputation. But how do they truly act in their age range? Because honestly, I'm really learning age does not come with wisdom. Some people regress worse with age. And a lot of times the online people that I talked about, go listen to that show, they regress with age. Money. Why do we need to know about their money and what they have and what they spent and how much they spent on it? Why do we need to be in a video with them and we looking in their background like, God damn, how much was that lamp? And then they showing you their lamp. Family secrets, big one. Why are they not guarding and protecting their own family? The people that's the closest to them. And why do they have a family in such disarray in their life that there's no family member that they can trust and lean on? Why is that? Medications. Do they try to exploit Hold on. Do they try to exploit this? Because we're going to get to the exploitation as well. Medications. What reason do they tell you they're on medications, or their medical story, or their medical health? Because it doesn't just have to be medication. Because if you have a health issue, you're going to have to take medications. What do they blurb about their sexuality and sexual endeavors? Do they have a public spat? Because if they don't respect their family, they're not going to respect anybody that they're sleeping with. Do they have a public spat with the people they've had relationships and sexuality and disrespect them and stuff? Because we're going to get into that part in a minute. Charity. What kind of charity do they do? What kind of charity tells you a lot about them? Do they go to women homeless shelters while they also spat out sexuality and family secrets? See what I'm saying? What kind of charity do? They go to children's spaces and then they spat out about sexuality, about what age girls should be to fuck and to have sex and stuff like that. See how it all ties in? This is all their reputation. Now let's get into exploitation, the age. How do they beat people in the head about their age? How do they come after people about their age and their behavior? You know how old she is? Did you see how she dressed? Did you see how he looks and he's this age? People can dress how the fuck they want to at any age. I mean, as far as when you're an adult. When you're an adult, you can dress how you want to. As long as you got style, that's all that matters. Do they exploit other people's money? Do they have to tell you this person's money and this person really don't got what they said and this and that, and they have to tell you about their bank account and lies and stuff? Do they exploit other people's family secrets? Well, you know that person's mama did this and that person's uncle was on drugs. You know they got SA'd and this and that. What do they exploit? What do they exploit about people? Oh, I know she mentally ill. That medication that person on and this, that, and the third. Sexuality. Oh yeah, I heard they was on the down low and they like trans and this and that. Charity. Oh, did you see what that person was doing? Because that's charity. So what was they doing and watching? And this is what they exploit. So that's all their reputation, baby. That's all that person's reputation, just from 1 to 6, is honor, reputation. What is this person's purpose of living? What is this person's purpose of being? Are they always talking about how much they want to do something, they want to accomplish something, and they just can't get to it? What is this person's being? What reason do you have association with this person? What is their reputation? Because if they do any of the top 6 right here, and I think you should definitely journal about this, then that is showing you how they are and who they are. Put this in your burn book notes. Make some templates. This is a part of one that you can make. Let's get to the last one, guys. Let's go.
Seneca warned against the need for external approval. It is the mark of an unstable mind to seek admiration from others. If your worth depends on recognition, then it is not truly yours. It is borrowed, fragile, and dependent on the opinions of those who may not always hold you in favor. The Stoic path is one of quiet confidence. Let your actions speak for you. Let your legacy be felt, not flaunted. Moreover, constantly speaking of your accomplishments can create unintended consequences. It may invite envy, breed resentment, or make others feel inadequate. A person who frequently reminds the world of their successes risks being seen not as honorable, but as boastful. Respect is not demanded. It is given freely by those who recognize true virtue. By keeping certain aspects of your life private, your achievements, your contributions, your personal victories, you protect your dignity. You allow others to see you for who you are, not just for what you have done. In the end, the most honorable individuals are not those who proclaim their greatness, but those who carry it with quiet grace. Honor is not a performance. It is a way of being. Live in a manner that commands respect, and you will never need to ask for it. E8. Insults, letting go of past hurts.
Oh, yes.
If someone is able to provoke you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Epictetus. Insults, slights, and moments of humiliation. These are inevitable parts of life. No one walks through the world unscathed. We are misunderstood, criticized, and sometimes deliberately hurt. But the real question is, will we carry these wounds with us, or will we choose to set them down? The Stoics understood that clinging to past insults only deepens our suffering. When we constantly replay the words of those who have wronged us, we allow them to live rent-free in our minds. We give their insults power, turning fleeting moments of disrespect into lifelong burdens. But why let another's careless words dictate your peace? True strength lies in letting go, in refusing to be defined by past offenses.
Insults. How interesting insults is the last one. Because this is why I chilled. And those videos are going to be taken down. And I really chilled on using the N-word with the hard R. Okay? I chilled on that, right? But I didn't chill yesterday, right? Because, I said that to that person that, I didn't hear what they said. I left the room. So, hey, And I told you they blocked me. The one who's stalking me now. And the thing is, I have come in my wisdom to learn what reason is insults being spewed. Do you know that insults, that's why the word in is there. The insults is an internal turmoil, an imbalance that is going on inside of you that you need to let outward towards other people. And I told you that it is the online people, the online strangers that you meet. And I said how insulting they can become, how nasty and seething they become. The things when their mask begins to slip, how fucked up they are internally, right? I told you that. And I even mentioned how they begin to try to make you their little punching bag and shit like that by the things that they do. Right? Or by the things that they say. People online, and that chick yesterday, you, who's stalking me, she looked at my sexuality because I thought we were having a casual conversation, but that was my fault, right? And she began to spew insults because she saw me as a charity case, and she began to spew insults at people who were what they were. But then she also told her family secrets of how her daddy, the pastor, killed her mom and her grandmother. I told you I don't believe that story. But this is what she told. And then she told about the mental instability of her dad and the type of women he liked to help in the church, which is a reflection of why she feels the way that she feels from her religious ideology. And it's so funny how people spit religious ideology, but then they say they're not religious. Pay attention to that. Why does someone need to go online and hurt somebody so badly? Why do they need to exploit them? Why do they need to exploit other people like that? Hurt other people like that? Because internally they're fucked up. When you're at peace with yourself, you have no reason to insult people. Since last year when I had that coven situation and I spewed the most nastiest shit I could to that person, it was like, your mouth is fucking reckless. They said, your mouth is reckless. I didn't do that no more. Know why? Because I realized I don't want nobody to get my emotions so riled up like that. And I had another situation with somebody in outside of the world as well. I said, I'm not going to let myself get riled up like that no more. I'm not going to let my emotions get topped like it. Like, I'm not going to do that. Because of all the wisdom I have gained right now and what I've been talking to you for since the top of this year. I even began to realize, oh shit. I even come to realize that every time I get on this microphone, what is my absolute purpose of getting on this microphone? What am I going to talk about? What needs to be said? What needs to be talked about? What can someone learn from me? What skills do I need to build for myself more? What place of studying do I need to study? How do I expand my vocabulary? How do I learn how to speak better as a public speaker? These are the things that I begin to learn. If it comes to a time where I get private with people, how can I help people? By getting on a camera with my voice and giving some kind of lessons and direction that people are going to have to pay for, because I can't just put it out there for free, making other people vulnerable. But my time is precious to me, right? How can I do that? These are the things that matter to me. Let's listen to some more.
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Talking about past insults, revisiting old wounds, and seeking validation from others only reinforces their grip on us. Each time we retell a painful story, we reopen the wound, keeping the pain fresh. Others may sympathize, but they cannot remove the weight from our shoulders. Only we can choose to release it. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is not about excusing others. It is about freeing ourselves. It means deciding that the past no longer has control over our present. It means recognizing that insults say more about the person who delivers them than the one who receives them. By keeping these experiences private, we give ourselves the chance to heal in silence, without the distortions of external opinions or misplaced pity. To carry anger is to chain ourselves to those who have wronged us. To let go is to reclaim our freedom. The choice is ours. As you continue...
I don't need to say all that. Listen. Excuse me. This is all about power. All of this. Age, money, family secrets, medication, sexuality, charity, honor, insults especially. It's all about power. Validation, having the title, being something special. Because they're nothing in their real world. See, remember I told you that the divested Black woman is the online female that I talk about. she ain't really telling the truth. I have to agree with Pisces Kendall St. Charles, okay? She said, behind the scenes, I get the real story with y'all. And a lot of y'all tell me how y'all in these interracial relationships and how much nobody in that relationship likes you. And how you really feel about yourself and how you really feel about being Black and all these things. I get the real thing. And I believe her. I believe her. I saw a divester who's married. And I saw her get on video with these white males. Boomer white males. She's all in the video, flashing herself. And you can see the people in the background. I've seen this a few times, but it was one main one that stood out to me. Next time I'm gonna stop that. And they were like rolling their eyes. You can tell they didn't want to be around her. They didn't really want to talk to her. You can see that. It was like there was no interaction with the people around her. I have done videos in my past, and people have jumped into my videos, and we have laughed together. People have interacted with me, like, hey, you doing a video? Like, that's human interaction. And that's not what I see with them. Now, you have to understand the online female is going to spew insults because she's not who she is online as who she is in real life. One of them said, I have a whites only on my living room, a whites only sign in my living room, and my family think it's a joke. But they really do despise them. See, family secrets. Why would you do that to your own family? I have talked about my mother shooting my cousin. I have talked about that. That's family secrets. I have openly talked about that to someone else who I felt it was okay because I grew up with them. You see what I'm saying? And they are a part of, like, their mother was dating my cousin's dad type situation. So there was a close relation with this person. So it was okay for me to talk about that. I felt it was okay. And the thing is, these kind of things are not okay to talk about. These type of things need to be talked about to a therapist, someone who specializes in trauma. That is where this should be talked about. Do you understand me? Now, psychology is a tricky one. A lot of people can go out there and study psychology. We're studying psychology right now, and dark psychology, right? We're getting a whole psychological lesson. But at the same time, guys, shit. Hold on, y'all. Hey, baby.
One, age is able to provoke you. Family is both our greatest source of strength and, at times, our greatest challenge. The bonds we share with parents, children, siblings, and extended relatives are built over a lifetime, woven together with love, sacrifice, and inevitably moments of tension. Every family has its struggles, its misunderstandings, It's untold stories. But the wise understand that not all family matters are meant to be shared. Why should family secrets remain private? Because trust, once broken, is difficult to repair. Sharing disagreements or personal conflicts with outsiders invites judgment, gossip, and interference from those who do not fully understand the depth of your family's history. Struggles that could have been resolved internally become public spectacles, and wounds that might have healed in silence are reopened by the opinions of those who were never part of the story. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control the words or actions of others, but we can control how we respond. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Epictetus. When it comes to family, silence is often the path of wisdom. Speaking too freely about internal conflicts.
Meet Everand, a world of stories and knowledge designed for you. Discover more at Everand.
Not only damages relationships, but also robs family members of the dignity and respect they deserve. Keeping family matters private does not mean ignoring problems or suppressing emotions. It means handling them with discretion, addressing conflicts directly rather than exposing them to the world. As we grow older, we may reflect on past mistakes, moments of regret, or unresolved tensions. But by protecting the sanctity of family, we create an environment where healing remains possible, where relationships can evolve without the weight of external influence. Honor your family, not by revealing its struggles, but by preserving its trust. In a world that thrives on oversharing, the greatest act of wisdom is knowing when to remain silent. 4. Medications. Health is personal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Health is one of life's greatest equalizers. No matter how strong, successful, or wise we become, we are all subject to the natural wear and tear of time. By the time we reach our 50s and beyond, managing health becomes a priority. Some may deal with chronic conditions, others may rely on medications, and many undergo treatments to maintain their well-being. While health is a common topic of discussion, the details of your personal medical history are best kept private. Why? Because revealing too much about your medications or treatments can change how people perceive you. The moment you disclose an illness or condition, you risk being seen through the lens of your ailment, rather than as a complete person. Conversations that once revolved around your experiences, wisdom, and insights may shift toward discussions about symptoms, treatments, and concerns over your well-being. While the intentions of others may be kind, this shift can be limiting. You are not just a patient, you are a person with a lifetime of knowledge, skills, and contributions. Moreover, sharing your health concerns often invites a flood of unsolicited advice. Friends and acquaintances may suggest alternative remedies, extreme diets, or miracle cures, often with little scientific backing. Though these suggestions are usually well-meaning, they can be overwhelming, misleading, or even dangerous. The Stoics remind us that external circumstances, including our health, are not entirely within our control, but our response to them is. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Seneca. Another crucial reason to maintain privacy is to protect your peace of mind. When others know too much about your health, it can lead to unnecessary worry, judgment, or pity. Some may start treating you differently, assuming limitations where none exist. Others may see your struggles as a reflection of weakness, when in reality, managing health challenges requires incredible resilience. By keeping your medical matters private, you maintain control over your own narrative. You decide how you wish to be seen, on your own terms, not through the filter of someone else's concern. This does not mean that you should suffer in silence. Seeking professional advice and confiding in trusted loved ones is essential. But broadcasting your health struggles to a wider audience often does more harm than good. The Stoics teach us that strength is not found in lamenting our burdens, but in carrying them with dignity. Your health is yours alone. Guard it not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Share wisely, protect your peace, and remember that your true self is far greater than any condition or treatment. 5. Sexuality, intimacy is sacred. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Sexuality is one of the most profound aspects of human existence. It is not merely about physical connection, but about trust, vulnerability, and emotional depth. Contrary to societal misconceptions, intimacy does not fade with age. It evolves. For many, love and connection become even richer as the years pass, shaped by experience, mutual understanding, and a deeper appreciation for companionship. Yet, in a world that often sensationalizes or stigmatizes the intimate lives of older adults, discretion is not just wise, it is necessary. The Stoics remind us that what is sacred should be guarded. Intimacy is a deeply personal matter, not a subject for public discussion. When details of one's private life are shared too freely, they become subject to misinterpretation, judgment, and even ridicule. People impose their own beliefs, biases, and assumptions, reducing something meaningful to mere gossip or speculation. Keeping your intimate life private is not about shame, it is about respect. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Seneca. Speaking too openly about one's romantic life can erode the very bond that makes it special. Intimacy flourishes in privacy. It is nurtured by the quiet trust between two people, not by the opinions of the outside world. When you reveal too much, you risk allowing others to intrude upon something that should remain between you and your partner alone. Furthermore, as we age, our desires and needs may change, but the importance of dignity and discretion remains constant. Sharing too much can invite unnecessary scrutiny, making something personal into a subject for debate. By keeping your private life just that, private, you maintain control over your own story. The Stoics teach us that wisdom lies in restraint, that strength is found in silence, and that true fulfillment does not require validation from others. Let your intimate life be a source of joy, not a spectacle. Protect what is sacred, and in doing so, preserve its meaning. 6. Charity, the quiet power of giving. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is not to be lived by reference to others, but by following the inner light. Marcus Aurelius. True generosity needs no audience. Giving, whether in the form of money, time, or support, is one of the highest expressions of virtue. Yet, in a world where public recognition is often mistaken for genuine virtue, the quiet act of charity has become a rarity. The Stoics remind us that goodness is its own reward. The moment we seek praise for our generosity, we dilute its purity. Why should charity be kept private? Because giving should be about the recipient, not the giver. When we announce our acts of kindness, we risk turning them into tools for validation. We shift the focus from helping others to being seen as generous. A donation made in silence carries more weight than one accompanied by applause. It speaks to an inner strength, giving because it is right, not because it is noticed. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, warned against giving with expectation. A benefit is rendered worthless by the expectation of gratitude. The moment charity is tied to recognition, it loses its nobility. A truly virtuous person gives without the need for acknowledgement, without tallying favors, and without seeking reciprocation. To give quietly is to give freely. Beyond personal integrity, keeping charity private also protects those we help. Not everyone wishes to be seen as a recipient of aid. Many people take pride in their independence, and publicizing their struggles can rob them of their dignity. By giving discreetly, we allow others to maintain their sense of self-respect. The most meaningful acts of kindness are those that lift others up without making them feel small. In the end, the measure of charity is not in its recognition, but in its impact. The best gifts are those given in silence. The most powerful kindnesses are those unseen. Wealth, time, and resources are merely tools. Their true value lies in how we use them. Let your generosity be a reflection of your character, not a performance for the world to see. 7. Honor, protecting your reputation. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. Honor is not something you demand. It is something you earn. It is not built on words, but on actions, cultivated over a lifetime of discipline, integrity, and quiet strength. By the time we reach our 50s and 60s, we have likely accomplished much, raising a family, building a career, contributing to our community. But the Stoics teach us a crucial lesson. True honor requires no announcement. In a world obsessed with recognition, it is tempting to share our achievements, to remind others of what we have done. But the more we seek validation, the more we risk weakening the very respect we hope to preserve. Honor is like a flame. It shines brightest when it is steady and unshaken, but too much air can cause it to flicker and fade. Seneca warned against the need for external approval. It is the mark of an unstable mind to seek admiration from others. If your worth depends on recognition, then it is not truly yours. It is borrowed, fragile, and dependent on the opinions of those who may not always hold you in favor. The Stoic path is one of quiet confidence. Let your actions speak for you. Let your legacy be felt, not flaunted. Moreover, constantly speaking of your accomplishments can create unintended consequences. It may invite envy, breed resentment, or make others feel inadequate. A person who frequently reminds the world of their successes risks being seen not as honorable, but as boastful. Respect is not demanded. It is given freely by those who recognize true virtue. By keeping certain aspects of your life private, your achievements, your contributions, your personal victories, you protect your dignity. You allow others to see you for who you are, not just for what you have done. In the end, the most honorable individuals are not those who proclaim their greatness, but those who carry it with quiet grace. Honor is not a performance. It is a way of being. Live in a manner that commands respect, and you will never need to ask for it. 8. Insults, letting go of past hurts. If someone is able to provoke you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Epictetus. Insults, slights, and moments of humiliation. These are inevitable parts of life. No one walks through the world unscathed. We are misunderstood, criticized, and sometimes deliberately hurt. But the real question is, will we carry these wounds with us, or will we choose to set them down? The Stoics understood that clinging to past insults only deepens our suffering. When we constantly replay the words of those who have wronged us, we allow them to live rent-free in our minds. We give their insults power, turning fleeting moments of disrespect into lifelong burdens. But why let another's careless words dictate your peace? True strength lies in letting go, in refusing to be defined by past offenses. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Talking about past insults, revisiting old wounds, and seeking validation from others only reinforces their grip on us. Each time we retell a painful story, we reopen the wound, keeping the pain fresh. Others may sympathize, but they cannot remove the weight from our shoulders. Only we can choose to release it. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is not about excusing others. It is about freeing ourselves. It means deciding that the past no longer has control over our present. It means recognizing that insults say more about the person who delivers them than the one who receives them. By keeping these experiences private, we give ourselves the chance to heal in silence, without the distortions of external opinions or misplaced pity. To carry anger is to chain ourselves to those who have wronged us. To let go is to reclaim our freedom. The choice is ours. As you continue your journey through life, remember this. Wisdom is not just about what we know, but also what we choose to keep within. Silence is not weakness, it is power. What we guard in privacy often holds more strength than what we share with the world. By protecting these 8 aspects of your life, you preserve your peace, your dignity, and your autonomy. If this video resonated with you, let us know. Comment 1 if you found it insightful, or 0 if you see things differently. Your thoughts matter, and if you believe in the value of inner strength and quiet wisdom, consider liking this video and subscribing for more content on Stoic philosophy and timeless life lessons. Stay mindful, stay resilient, and remember, true power comes from within. See you in the next video, where we'll explore more ways to cultivate wisdom and live with greater purpose. Have you ever felt that a relationship in your life is eroding your peace, confidence, and sense of self-worth? In today's video, we're going to explore 9 clear signs that it's time to end all contact, even if it's with a close friend or family member. Imagine this. Is there someone in your life who constantly makes you feel guilty, judged, or as if you're only valuable when you please them? As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Creating distance isn't selfish. It's a necessary step to protect your peace and self-respect. This video will not only help you recognize these dangerous red flags, but also provide you with powerful tools to confront them without guilt or hesitation. Make sure to watch until the end, because I'll reveal the most subtle yet common sign, one that many of us overlook, and how you can free yourself from it forever. Before we dive in, if you find value in these insights, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any essential content that strengthens your spirit and enriches your relationships. Now, let's embark on the journey to reclaim the freedom and respect you truly deserve. First, avoid people who don't spend money. Have you ever met someone whose first words to you were about not having money? It's easy to empathize if they're truly struggling. But oddly enough, these individuals often lead a comfortable life, enjoying their personal pleasures, indulging in trips or hobbies. Yet, when it comes to you, they suddenly bring up financial excuses to avoid responsibility or obligations. This isn't about poverty. It's about calculated behavior, If you've been in such a situation, take a moment to reflect. This is not a sign of a balanced or genuine relationship. I once had a friend like this. Every time we planned something, he always had an excuse about not having enough money. But I noticed he had no hesitation spending on personal luxuries or impressing others. One day, when he declined a trip we had planned together, I realized the issue wasn't his financial capacity, it was his lack of value for my presence. That was the moment I understood such relationships can't endure, as they aren't built on fairness or genuine care. In any relationship, whether it's with friends, family, or a partner, mutual sharing and support are essential. If you feel like you're always the one giving while the other person simply takes advantage without reciprocating, the relationship has become unbalanced and potentially burdensome for you. Remember, good relationships are founded on equality, respect, and mutual care. If someone views you only as a resource, don't hesitate to set clear boundaries or even step away from that relationship. Your life deserves to be filled with connections that bring joy, empathy, and true value. Second, avoid people who often quarrel and take sides. Have you ever felt like you're caught in a relationship where every conversation turns into a battle? This is exactly what happens when you deal with people who never stop arguing. These individuals not only blow minor issues out of proportion, but also drag you into their conflicts, forcing you to pick sides. They don't just exhaust their own lives, but also drain the peace out of your relationship. Let me share a personal experience. I once had a friend like that. He seemed confident on the surface, but whenever there was a difference of opinion, he would immediately escalate it into a heated argument. One time, during a casual gathering with friends, we were discussing plans for a trip, and a minor disagreement arose. He pulled me into the argument, insisting I back him up in front of everyone. That moment changed our friendship.
But enough about us. Without further ado, let's get started. Why should you publish a book? And I think that this Toni Morrison quote
Forever. I realized that if someone frequently stirs up conflicts and pressures others to take their side, maintaining a balanced and healthy relationship with them becomes impossible. Arguing is not a sign of intelligence or strength. On the contrary, it reflects a lack of emotional control and an inner sense of insecurity. People who argue constantly not only harm their relationships, but also miss opportunities for personal growth. A wise person doesn't need to win every debate. Instead, they prioritize peace, understanding, and resolving issues calmly. If you find yourself stuck in a pattern of frequent arguments or often being drawn into unnecessary conflicts, take a moment to pause and reflect. Cultivating calmness doesn't just protect your relationships, it also safeguards your inner peace. In life, harmonious connections and a tranquil mind are the treasures worth cherishing. Third, avoid people who take other people's worries lightly. In the journey of life, each of us carries our own unique burdens, no two the same. Worries, joys, and sorrows hold relative value, immeasurable by a common scale. Yet one of life's greatest disappointments is when we share our struggles, only to encounter people who magnify their own burdens while diminishing or dismissing ours. This isn't just a lack of respect, it's a behavior that erodes trust and drains the foundation of any relationship. I remember a moment when I confided in a longtime friend about the challenges of balancing work while caring for my aging parents. Instead of offering empathy, he glossed over my concerns and immediately shifted the conversation to his work pressures, as if my struggles didn't exist. That experience didn't just leave me disappointed, it deeply hurt. I realized then that relationships can only flourish when both sides respect and truly listen to each other, valuing one another's struggles as they would want their own to be valued. Respect isn't a grand gesture. It's often found in the simplest of actions. It lies in expressing genuine gratitude, saying thank you when someone helps, or apologizing sincerely when you've caused hurt. These words, when spoken from the heart, are not mere courtesies, but the bedrock of meaningful relationships. It's vital to distance yourself from those who lack gratitude, those who cannot celebrate your successes or empathize with your pain. A person who finds joy in others' suffering lacks compassion, and this lack of respect isn't just toxic, it reveals a chilling indifference. While we can't control how others behave, we can choose the people we allow into our lives. Build relationships founded on respect, gratitude, and heartfelt care. Surround yourself with those who share in your joy, console you in your sorrow, and genuinely wish for your happiness. Never revel in someone else's suffering. Not only does it wound them, but it also diminishes your own humanity. By living with compassion, you won't just nurture beautiful relationships, you'll create a life that's deeply meaningful and worth cherishing. Fourth, avoid anyone who enforces your religious or political beliefs. None of us are exactly the same, and that is the true beauty of human relationships. The real meaning of connection lies not in imposing ourselves on others, but in recognizing and appreciating differences, building shared values from them. However, there are people who incessantly try to impose their beliefs on others, whether it's religion or politics, and this behavior not only exhausts us, but also creates deep fractures in relationships. I remember an old friend who was once very close to me. Every time we spoke, he would try to convince me that his way of life was the only correct one, that I needed to change my beliefs. Initially, I engaged in debates with him, trying to defend my perspective. But after every conversation, I felt emotionally drained. Over time, I realized that these arguments didn't lead to any understanding. They only pushed us further apart. Pointless arguments often fail to resolve anything. When both sides are determined to defend their egos, the conversation turns into a battle where both lose. Even if you win the argument,